Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session on creating uncontested market spaces and the concepts of Blue Ocean. My name is Ted Dacko. I am the current executive director of the Blue Ocean Student Entrepreneur Pitch Competition, serving my fourth year in a four-year commitment to the competition. By way of background, I have a master's in mathematics from William & Mary, and I have 45 years of entrepreneurial experience, and I've been 7-time CEO of entrepreneurial companies. I'm also a professor of entrepreneurship at the University of Michigan, and my overall goal in life is to help entrepreneurs grow their great ideas into great companies. And I love the dirty, messy, ugly process of building an entrepreneurial company and creating something out of nothing. Let's talk about our competition. First of all, you should know it's free. There is no fee for you as a student or for you as a school. You get access, if you register for the competition, you get access to the Blue Ocean mini course, which is a valuable resource to help you learn more about Blue Ocean concepts and will increase your ability to compete in our competition and, more importantly, compete globally in the world. This competition is global. You can compete internationally. We have registrants from all over the world, and it's virtual, so you can compete, you can pitch locally. So what you do is you submit a 5-minute or less video pitch. Our rubric is published on our website, which I will get to in a minute. And for the top 100 pitches, you will get feedback from professional entrepreneurs about your pitch. Prizes are awarded to students, and prizes are awarded to schools based on participation, as well as the schools that do the best, have the most pitches that do well in our competition. For each of you individually, you will get a certificate of completion just for competing in the competition. If you finish in the top 100 or the top 50 or the top 25 or the top 10, or if you win, you will get a special certificate, which is very valuable to you as you try to either apply for college or whatever it is that you want to do with that certificate. Why the Blue Ocean competition? Well, let's go to our website. First of all, I wanted to make sure that you understand that the competition is the most prestigious pitch competition in the world for high school students. You can compete with the best students in the world, but you do it from the comfort of your home or of your school. This is where you would register for the competition. Students can register here. Teachers can register here. Teachers will also get valuable information that they could use either in the classroom or to help their students or to start a club. There are resources available to you in the competition as well. And most importantly, if you register, you will get access to the Blue Ocean Strategy mini course. The other reason is that we're going to promote your pitch. We're going to upload your pitches onto our YouTube channel, and winning pitches are in the first playlist. We have a resources section there that you could look at. And then we also publicize the top 10, the top 100, and then all submissions are publicized on our YouTube channel as well. We talked about the mini course, and I will just remind you, it is a very valuable course that will help you learn many of the concepts that I'm going to go over with you today, but probably in a little bit more detail. Our mission today is to discuss how to think about market opportunities that may not exist today, and also understand some of the Blue Ocean concepts and available tools that will help you differentiate your product line or your product idea from other competitive products. Why Blue Ocean Strategy? Well, for one thing, Blue Ocean strategy is taught in over 2,000 universities around the world today, including the top business schools. So you are getting a head start on what you're probably going to end up being exposed to and learning in college. And more importantly, Blue Ocean concepts are used throughout the world by companies large and small, trying to help them understand how to develop a strategy that will allow them to create and not necessarily just compete. Differentiation is essential. You need to differentiate your product line or you die, but you can't do it with price alone. You need to differentiate with value or you end up dying with price. If you compete simply on price, you end up being a commodity, and no one wants to have a product that's simply a commodity product. Here's the goal. The goal is to create what's called a strategy canvas. Very simply put, these are the competing factors, and I'll show you this in a little bit along the bottom. And this is the offering level for those competing factors. The red line is how decisions are made today in the industry, and the blue line is how you would like them to be made. Notice a couple of things about a strategy canvas, and then we'll start putting in competing factors. There are things that you may choose not to do. You're going to eliminate from the current way the industry solves a problem. Then there are things that you're going to reduce in importance that the industry has classically thought about, but you're going to say, you know what, we don't really need to do those in as much detail as that we used to. But these are things that we're going to raise in importance. And then these are items that we are going to create that the industry hasn't thought about yet. This is how you visually create a story about what your competing factors are and your competing strategy is. That's very nice for you and your team and everybody and your potential customers to see this. And if their decision criteria is still the red line, they're probably not a customer of yours. But if you can convince them that they really want to think about things from the perspective of the blue line, they are going to be a customer of yours. This all comes from two books, Blue Ocean Strategy and Blue Ocean Shift, written by co-authors Chan Kim and Renee Mauborgne. These folks have done a great job in developing these concepts, and these books are extremely worthwhile to you to read and understand, A, for college, and B, for life. What is Blue Ocean Strategy? Blue Ocean Strategy is creating a leap in value for your customer and making your competition irrelevant by using innovative ideas and business models. At our competition, we challenge you to channel Blue Ocean thinking into your ideas and your pitches. The rubric for our competition is published on our website, just so you know, and you can see exactly how your pitch will be evaluated. As I said earlier, Blue Ocean Strategy is taught in over 2,000 colleges and universities around the world, including the top business schools. And you can watch a video that's on the Blue Ocean Strategy website to learn more about Blue Ocean Strategy if you would like to. So what the heck are red oceans and blue oceans? Red oceans are all the industries in existence today. That's the known market space. But blue oceans are all the industries that are not in existence today, the unknown market space. Why do we call them red oceans? Because they are cutthroat competition and from existing industry, and that turns it into a bloody red ocean. Vendors fighting for the exact same market share with a known feature list, hence the term red ocean. Blue oceans are unexplored and untainted by competition. They're vast, deep, powerful in terms of opportunity and growth. Red Ocean Strategy is about competing. It's as the market space gets more crowded, companies compete and fiercely, and there's a lot of competition for existing market share. Blue Ocean Strategy says we're going to create new demand. Companies can develop uncontested market space rather than fighting over a shrinking profit pool, particularly as prices begin to decline in classic red oceans. What outcomes does red ocean strategy produce? Well, it produces a zero-sum game. A market competing strategy divides existing wealth between rivals, and as the competition increases, your prospects for profit and growth decline. But blue oceans create a non-zero-sum game. There is ample opportunity for growth that is both profitable and rapid. Blue ocean strategy shows you how strategy can shape structure for an organization in an organization's favor for an industry. So again, you are changing the rules by which the industry is making decisions. Just as a recap, your red ocean strategy is competing in existing market spaces, beating competition, exploiting existing demand, making a trade-off between value and cost. And organizations normally align all of their activities and choices of differentiation on one or those choices on basically differentiation or low cost. Blue ocean creates uncontested market space, makes competition irrelevant, and creates and captures new demand, and it breaks that value cost trade-off. And we're going to talk about that. So how do you shift, if you have an organization already, from red ocean thinking to blue ocean thinking? Well, there's three things that you need to do. One, perspective, the mindset of a blue ocean strategy, which we're going to talk about. Two are the tools that can be used to help you think about and create blue ocean concepts, and confidence and humanness that builds people's confidence in every level to drive the process of blue ocean strategy. To break out of red oceans, companies need to break out of the accepted boundaries that define how they compete. The first thing we'll talk about are pain points. If you don't have a pain point, it's hard to get a customer to buy something. Pain points are aspects of a business or product or service that buyers are forced to put up with or find so inconvenient that they turn to alternatives. Here are 4 traits of a blue ocean strategist. Number 1, they don't take industry conditions as given. They set out to reshape them. Blue ocean strategists do not seek to beat competition. They make them irrelevant. Blue ocean strategists focus on creating and capturing brand new demand, not fighting over existing demand. And blue ocean strategists simultaneously focus on getting better differentiation and lower cost. They aim to break that value cost trade-off. The value cost trade-off is a conventional belief that companies can either create greater value to consumers at higher cost or create reasonable value at lower cost. Strategy is seen as making the choice between the two. Those who seek to create blue oceans pursue differentiation and low cost simultaneously. This enables them to create a dramatic leap in value for buyers and for the company itself. So classically, you had a choice. I can either provide better value at a higher cost, or I could provide a lower cost, but I'm going to lose some value. Blue ocean strategy teaches you to not make the decision along the red curve there, but to increase both the value and the cost for the consumer as well as you change. Now, I ran a company called Health Media from 2000 to 2010. We were the company that invented digital health coaching. Digital health coaching is the idea that you can use technology and artificial intelligence to actually work with a consumer and create a plan for them and guide them through a process to improve the outcomes without ever actually having to talk to a person. Digital coaching emulates a coaching session, but there's actually no person there. It's all done through technology. Now, in our marketplace, there were 3 individual silos. There were wellness companies, think weight management or quitting smoking or improving nutrition. There were behavioral health companies that focused on depression and insomnia and binge eating and mental health challenges. And then there were companies that focused on chronic illness, diabetes, heart disease, COPD, those sorts of things. Then there were companies that did coaching. They had banks of nurses all over the world or all over the country. And if you filed a claim with your insurance company, one of those coaches would start to call you and try to coach you in one of these three areas. And then there were content sites, and there still are, like WebMD, that are just basically health information shoveled online. What we did is we combined those three industries and developed products in all three because we realized that you had to treat an individual holistically because they probably needed to lose weight, deal with depression as they were dealing with their diabetes. So we were combining those three marketplaces. We invented the concept of digital coaching. We applied it across all three of those areas, again, to give a holistic approach. And here's the value cost trade-off. We provided the exact same or better efficacy as a telephonic human coach, but at the cost structure of a website like WebMD. So we broke that value cost trade-off, and we did it by inventing a brand new marketplace that no one else had thought of before. So a value innovator targets the massive buyers, and we were willing to let some existing customers go. And that's what the authors will say as well in the book. You have to be able to say, you know what? You are not a customer for us. So I have to ask the question, do you think you need to be disruptive to create innovation? And you might want to think about that. But the answer is, no, you don't. Sesame Street really didn't disrupt any industry. It created a brand new market opportunity, but it didn't disrupt any individual industry. And there are plenty of examples of organizations or companies or networks or whatever that created value for and innovated, but did not disrupt an industry. Now, how do you build that strategy canvas? This is called the ERRC grid. Think about your products and think about how decisions might be made today. There are things that you might want to eliminate in importance, things you might want to reduce in importance, things you might want to raise in importance, and things that you might want to create that do not exist today. And that's what the strategy canvas is. This is the eliminate, this is the reduce, this is the raise, and this is the create portion. Now, many of you obviously have either heard of or potentially even been to a performance at Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil is a classic example of a company that utilized blue ocean strategy because these were a group of Montreal street performers who used to be fundamentally circus performers, but they changed the way people thought about circus performers. Let's take a look at a video. So that is how Cirque du Soleil built a strategy canvas, and this is the ERRC grid for Cirque du Soleil. They eliminated star performers. No one knew who the Flying Zambini brothers were anyway. They got rid of animals in the show. There was animal cruelty issues, etc., and they didn't want to do that. They don't sell popcorn in the aisles at Cirque du Soleil shows, and they got rid of multiple show arenas. Now, they didn't eliminate fun and humor and thrill and danger. It's still there, but they reduced its importance and they raised the importance of having a unique venue. They created themes. So when you go to a show, like love or humanity. The whole show is around that theme. It's a refined environment. They do have multiple productions, again, love, humanity, etc. And they added artistic music and dance to create the strategy canvas for Cirque du Soleil. You, as students, should think about how you want to build a strategy canvas, if you can, for the Blue Ocean competition, and how your product that you want to pitch will end up being in the same light, what you're not going to do, what you're going to reduce, what you're going to raise in importance, and what you're going to create that currently does not exist today. Now, our competition does a very similar thing. We actually use Blue Ocean concepts in the Blue Ocean Student Entrepreneur Pitch Competition. We have eliminated the idea of an in-person competition. You don't have to go anywhere to compete in our competition. We've reduced the importance of it being local. And why I say reduced and not eliminated is because many schools actually still use this in the classroom, and they still have a competition locally for their school or in their class using the Blue Ocean concepts. But the ultimate goal is to submit this to our global competition. We've raised the importance of convenience. You don't have to go anywhere. This is a very high profile competition. It's the most prestigious pitch competition in the world. We've raised the importance of easy classroom implementation. You will see on our YouTube channel, one of our teachers in Long Island, Eileen Littman, uses the competition in combination with her DECA initiatives. And we've raised the importance of social media. We have a lot of social media promotions that we do. And if you are in the top of our competition, we will promote you using Facebook and Instagram. We've created this idea of a virtual competition. We have an executive committee that's student-led that helps us run this. It's international in nature. We focus our initiatives on high school principals and high school guidance counselors to try to get you students involved in the competition. We have prize money for schools based on both participation and also for the schools that have the most pitches that end up in the top 25 of our competition. And we also have prize money, because we put everything up on YouTube, for the most likes that you will get in YouTube combined with the most likes that you will get from the judges. So it's not purely likes on YouTube, but you have to finish high enough in the competition in order to qualify for that prize. So this is our strategy canvas for the Blue Ocean Student Entrepreneur Pitch Competition, to give you an idea of how we have applied it ourselves. Now, there's a 5-step process here, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of tools on how to do this. How you get started, understand where you are, imagine where you can be, find out how you get there, and then make your move. We've already talked about what is Red and Blue Ocean strategy. I've already shown you an ERRC grid and a strategy canvas. Now we're going to cover what is a buyer utility map. How do I actually think about creative ways to build my strategy canvas? What are the 3 tiers of non-customers? And what's the 6-path framework? So I'm going to cover those 3 as best I can. Now, the buyer utility map is really important because the buyer utility map is a tool from Blue Ocean Strategy that allows you to visually map out the buying journey across one dimension, by another dimension of certain criteria. It helps you to think about things from a demand side, not from purely the product side. The buyer side. It outlines levers that you can pull to deliver exceptional buyer utility to buyers, as well as experiences that the buyers have with the product. Now, remember, think about pain points. There are aspects of a business or a product or a service that a buyer is forced to deal with, but they find it inconvenient and they want to turn to alternatives. So you stop and think about this. You purchase a product, it is delivered to you. You use the product, you may have supplements, you maintain the product, and then you dispose of it. The buyer utility map compares that to the productivity of the buyer, the simplicity for the buyer, the convenience for the buyer, the risk factor, the overall brand image, whether it be fun or whatever it happens to be, and the environmental friendliness. So the buyer experiences we just talked about. How long does it take to find the product you need? Is the place of purchase attractive? How secure is the transaction? How rapidly can you make a decision? Apple is good at the purchase and also very good at the delivery. How long does it take the product to get the product delivered? When you unpack an Apple product, it is a gorgeous, elegant experience for you. Do buyers have to arrange delivery themselves? And how costly and difficult is this, et cetera? When you use the product, does it require training or expertise? Is the product easy to store when it's not in use? How effective is the product and the features and functions? Does the product or service deliver far more power or options than required by the user? Therefore, they're overcharged with bells and whistles that they don't need. Do you need supplements or products to make the product work? If so, are they costly? How much time do they take? How much pain do they cause? And maintenance, does the product require external maintenance? How easy is it to upgrade and maintain the product, and how costly is it? And when you're done, how do you dispose of it? Well, Apple, again, is really good at this, right? When you're done with your computer or whatever, you can sell it back to Apple, you ship it back to them, and they take care of the disposal, and you get some money back from it as well. The buyer experience cycle is, we're going to look at productivity, simplicity, convenience, risk, brand, fun or image, and environmental friendliness. Now, everyone focuses on the exact same pain point. And the buyer utility map is going to help you think through that, but we're also going to help you think through things you may not have thought of. So if you look at this, that red dot means everybody is focused on, if you use my product, you're going to get more productivity, right? Well, there are other places, there is other white space on this matrix that you can think about this. If you know what an electric fryer is, it's a way to make French fries or chicken wings, but there's no oil involved. You're using an air fryer to do it. And it makes very, very good chicken wings or French fries very quickly and effectively. But the air fryer industry basically competes on various other factors. They look at supplements. Those liters of oil are very expensive to buy. Cleanup is really difficult. That's in the maintenance category. In the risk reduction area, that hot fryer is dangerous. What do you do with the oil when you're done with making your chicken wings or your French fry? That oil, how do you dispose of it? And the oil fryer makes your home smell horribly for days. So when you think about an electric fryer, they're not just focusing on the quality and the productivity of the use. They are thinking about things. And you can do that sort of thing as well. In the Blue Ocean competition, we do the same thing. You can register for our competition through HotWords from your mobile phone. You do your submissions online. Feedback from seasoned entrepreneurs is our idea of supplements, and it's easy to move to the next round. As a matter of fact, there's nothing you need to do. We move you from round to round because you only pitch once, and we just keep slimming the number of pitches. You don't have to go anywhere. It's very convenient. It's available from where there are no competitions. So sometimes, or we will get a lot of pitches from regions of the world or regions of the country where there are no local pitches, and this is all they have. It's a very prestigious competition. It's the most prestigious competition in the world, so in terms of fun and image, and we promote you internationally on our YouTube channel. So that's how we use the buyer utility map to actually help with our messaging so people understand more about our competition. So that's the buyer utility map. Now, total demand potential is not a function of the existing customers in an industry. It's a function of existing industry customers plus 3 tiers of non-customers. There are customers in the industry. There are soon to be non-customers in the industry, people who are using products reluctantly. There are people and organizations who are refusing to use custom product, and there are unexplored or non-customers that you can think of. So you need to think, who sits on the edge of the industry but really doesn't want to? Who considers the industry and then consciously says, you know what, I'm going to go elsewhere? And who could strongly benefit from the utility of your industry but doesn't even consider it? For most people, this is the first time they've ever been asked to systematically think through the issues of new customers. It's usually in terms of competitors' customers. And they ask, how can we get those customers? And sometimes larger organizations commission and outsource large formal market studies. This needs to be done firsthand. The purpose is to maximize the team's firsthand learning and confidence in what they see from themselves. And when I go to companies, team members generally find that by struggling through this exercise independently, they're able to flesh out a rich set of non-customers that they hadn't thought about. When they're spoon-fed the answers, they don't get it, they don't understand it. So each team member should do this independently and then regroup and discuss it together. And this is supposed to be uncomfortable. Now, if you are pitching individually, you are your team. If you are pitching as part of a team, and incidentally, you can pitch as up to 5 members of a team, you do this exercise independently. Here's some examples. Let's take the credit card industry. There are the credit card industry, and there are small to mid-sized merchants that reluctantly accept credit and debit cards. Then there are new businesses or micro businesses. My consulting business is one. I don't take credit cards. And then there are individuals needing to make payments to other individuals. Can you think of who I'm talking about? I'll give you a couple of seconds. The answer, of course, is Venmo. So they explored the 3 tiers of non-customers to expand their business. Same thing with our pitch competition. Our high school pitch competition, there's the industry. Then there may be upperclassmen, seniors who said, you know what? I've pitched in the local competitions. I'm tired of going to the gym or the auditorium, pitching to local entrepreneurs. I'm not going to do that. I'm bored. There are individuals who don't want to stand up in front of a group and present, but they will pitch to our competition because you have the ability to create a 5-minute video. And then there are individuals who don't even have access to a local competition. Those are the 3 tiers of non-customers for the Blue Ocean pitch competition. So that's the buyer utility map and the 3 tiers of non-customers. Now here's another tool that you can use. This is called the 6-path framework to look at a new value cost frontier. The first one is look across alternative industries. What does that mean? Well, when Southwest Airlines started, they didn't look at United or Delta or American. They basically said, why do people drive from Louisville, Kentucky to Indianapolis, Indiana? And they basically wanted to compete across different industries, the automobile industry. And they wanted to create an airline where you can have the convenience of flying at the cost of driving. Look across strategic groups within your industry. Health Media did that. When we were creating digital coaching, there were 2 kinds of health plans or employers out there. One who really wanted to help their employees or their members and who hired these banks of nurses to call people. And then there were people who just wanted to do the checkmark strategy and offer a WebMD solution, which really didn't do anything. We looked across both strategic groups and decided that we were going to try to appeal to both of them. Path 3, the chain of buyers. We don't just pitch to you as high school students. We want your teachers involved, your guidance counselors involved, your principals involved, and we are trying to look across the buyer group, although there is no buyer in this particular case, but for all intent and purposes, while there's no price associated with the competition, these are constituents that are involved. You can look across complementary products and services. There was a company in the UK that developed a tea kettle. And as you know, in the UK, Making tea is a very big process, a very important process. And they studied the buyers and they went into the homes and they watched people make tea. And they realized that in many places in the UK, the first thing that the person did is they scraped the lime scale off the top of the water. Well, when they looked at that, they said, wow, why don't we make a tea kettle that actually does that? So they added a complementary product or service to the tea kettle that actually added value, but still made tea. Rethinking your functional and emotional orientation. There are two classic examples of that. Whole Foods has revolutionized the way we think about grocery stores, and Starbucks has revolutionized the way we think about coffee. Not too many years ago, you bought your food at Kroger's or wherever you went to, and then you bought your coffee at McDonald's or gas stations. Well, Whole Foods and Starbucks changed that emotional orientation. And while you may like the Starbucks coffee, many people go to Starbucks because of the chairs, the music, the environment. Path 6 is looking at trends. And there is probably no better example of looking at trends than Netflix. Netflix was the first to realize many years ago that people didn't want to go to a video store to rent videos, drive there, drive home, watch the video, rewind the video, take it back and get another video. So they did this first online, and then they actually built a network that allows you to simply, from the click of your remote, to actually watch videos. So they understood that broadband was going to completely change the world. So if you're paying attention to external trends that are not fads, but are actually trends, you could use Path 6 to think about your concept as well. So the authors will tell you, and I will support the fact that creating Blue Ocean is not a static achievement, but is a dynamic process. And many of my customers who use Blue Ocean concepts are constantly looking at the strategy to figure out whether they can improve on it. Remember to tell your story using a strategy canvas. So if you're competing in our competition, one of the things that we want to see is the strategy canvas. We would like to see an ERRC grid. Hopefully you can use either a utility map, 3 tiers of non-customers, 6-path framework, or any of the other tools that you find on our website. Obviously, this is a recording, so we don't have time for questions, but you can contact us if you have questions about this. And with that, we will leave you with the fact, with our website. It's blueoceancompetition.org. My name is Ted Dacko. I am the current executive director. And you could write to me at blueoceancompetition@gmail.com. And we thank you for your time and attention for this individual session. Thank you.